a few guys in the week, and how important is it to just not be complacent during these last couple of weeks?
Yeah, we spoke about that. That's probably why we've got a good margin. But watching Hobart, they won the night before against Kilsyth and won convincingly, and Kilsyth's one of the top teams. And they just throw a few challenges at us. I could see that they were going to zone and extend their defence and change things up, basically what we call junk it up. And we prepared for that, and I thought the guys executed really well against the variance in their defence, and they were trying to disrupt our offence, but we were just well prepared, and the boys executed really well. Really happy with the bench, come off and made a strong contribution as well.
Will we be seeing more from the bench in the upcoming week?
I think you will, because Mark Keys will still be out for another game. That's what everyone forgets. Like, he's been out now for another 2 games. He'll be out this week, so we'll make sure he's right to come back for the last game before the finals. Foxy's going away and play with Fiji for a week, so we'll be without him. And Ross has gone to the Uni Games. I think, I don't know about playing, but maybe partying. So he says he's playing basketball, but what that does is open the door for 3 players. We've got our spot secured, but my demands will be no different. I'll be demanding guys play well when they're out there. But what it does mean is an opportunity, and so there'll be a player that's starting that hasn't started this year, so that's a great opportunity for him. Geordie, I'm going to start Geordie, replacing Foxy, who's been getting some good minutes and doing well. So it opens the door for an opportunity to build the depth before we get to the finals with our bench.
Can we get an update on Gary's tooth?
Yeah, I think it's going to be fixed tomorrow, and he was looking pretty though yesterday. I saw him yesterday. He's had it put back in, and it's just a matter of having it, taken out and put back in so it stays in. So he's looking okay.
And Marquis, like you said, has been out for a lot of the season.
Yeah.
How much of an impact do you think this had on the team?
Oh, look, we're really fortunate to have won games, and I think people have forgotten that. Other club teams talk about injuries. We don't talk about it. I actually hide them from you. You probably already know that. But it does impact the cohesion, because you want to get into a rhythm and a routine, of who comes in and who comes out at various times, and you can build that when you've got your whole team, and so that gets disrupted. In saying that, with him being out these 2 weeks, as you guys have commented, that it's opened the door for some other players to play more minutes, and I really believe in the playoffs, someone gets in foul trouble, someone gets hurt, you need to be able to put anybody out there, and they've got to hold up their own at that moment in that game. So it's a negative, but it can be a positive as well.
And just on the rush, they played really well this week, took away and win as well. Any words on how they went?
Yeah, I'm always rapt when the rush win. They've won more games than they had last year. They've won 2 now. So their goal is to win the next 2, and as we all know, we're probably going to look at this and go, well, if we had a few home games at the beginning of the season, and they won a couple to maintain their confidence, probably would have made the playoffs. But it's a learning experience for them. But it's really great how their focus is still to win games and not dropping their bundle and finish the season strong, which I really do believe there's a big chance of winning the next 2 games as well.
She's top scored for them with 24. How important do you think she's been for the rush this year?
Oh, she's been really important, and we look back in those early games, I think she missed 4 of those 6 games. So we talked about how that piece was missing, as well as all the away games. So Shanice is really works hard. We do some individual work with her. She's multi-skilled. She can shoot it, she can create, and she's feisty on the defensive end. She's a real competitor. So that's it. She's absolutely vital, and been vital for the rush this year. Yeah.
Just with these final 3 weeks, obviously top spot's already locked up. What is it you're going to be looking for? I mean, do you have any goals? Do you want to increase the confidence of the bench guys or something like that? Or sort of,
Yeah, it's interesting. We talk about confidence a bit, but confidence has really got to come from within. And I'd like to think that our confidence is there by the success we've had with the team. And it's not something you can just turn on and off. And I think it was a good start the other night. I think, from an offensive point of view, what I want from the guys to come in off the bench is not to be afraid to shoot the basketball. They've never been told, and sometimes they get criticised, not criticised, but Jerry says to me, for example, geez, I wish I coach always told me to shoot it. But that should project confidence. So the only thing that holds them back is themselves at times. Well, certainly Zach doesn't worry about shooting the basketball. but it's locked into the defensive plan as well, not just the offense. And people see the ball go in the basket, we've got a defensive plan. So it's tough coming in off the bench. You know, you're sitting there for a few minutes, you're cold, but the reality is, you know, you have to learn to play that role and then excel in it, and you have to be ready to go. So I don't know what more confidence I can give them in respect to, you know, encouraging them to back themselves. So it's a matter of them, you know, those players that are coming off the bench then to just have an impact, you know, and that's one of the things with Marquise, as you've seen. We've been really fortunate. So to have Marquise as an import coming off the bench, and it's probably been, you know, through injury that he ended up started on the bench, and he's there through injury again at the end. But not many imports would accept that role. They would sulk and spit the dummy, say, you know, whereas he's, you know, he's just still playing his game, and I think he set a great example for the other guys. Because when we've got him, he just comes in and he just gives us an unbelievable impact. So what I'm looking for is for Zach and Ross and Geordie, and not only on the offensive end, Marquis' defence, you know, he's locked in when he comes in off the bench. So he can start in our team, and then I've got, if I take Kwani out or Sam, maybe they'd solve, you know. But that's the hard part about coaching. Like if you do get a little bit of depth, it's trying to manage that. And I probably haven't had to manage it as much because Marquis has been in and out of team injury, but we've got a guy on the bench as a starter, so we're blessed with that, and that's why I want to get him healthy for the finals. And going back, you know, just staying on your question, I think that sets a great example for Geordie, Ross, Zach, all those guys. You know, the rest of them are on the bench to come in and have that positive impact that we know they can and capable of.
Is this final 3 weeks, are you going to treat it as almost somewhat of an audition for the bench guys to see who might play more minutes come finals? Because I know your rotation is probably going to shorten in those bigger games, and will it be an opportunity for them to sort of earn themselves more playing time?
Well, I think this second game, or this game, without Marquise and Josh and Ross, in particular Josh and Marquise, you know, they're players that play big minutes. So Geordie's automatically going to get more minutes. Now, who the other player is that gets more minutes, you don't just give it to them, you know, because you're trying to win a basketball game. And we want to go into the season with confidence. We're not just going to play people and lose a game, because some coaches will say, oh, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, because it matters, you know, confidence from the whole team perspective, psychologically. Like, we're down 3 players against Waverley. I'm going in to win. I'm coaching to win. And, you know, at the same time, there's just going to be a lot more opportunity for those players. It's the following week when Marquise comes back. We need to get things right, our rotations right. We've got 1 game before we play that playoff. But in the meantime, you know, we've been given our bench opportunity throughout the year. If you look at some other teams, they only play 6 players. You know, we've been getting 8, 9 teams, you know, 8, 9 players, and when we can, 10. We had played 12 the other night. We had our development kids out there for a few minutes. So I think they're just going to get an opportunity this week because of the amount of players we've got out, and it's up to them who stays on the floor.
Beautiful.
Are you good?
Well, how did you see the weekend's game?
That game was just an opportunity for us to build team chemistry and just get more guys involved, and it was just about building chemistry, and yeah, that's about it.
How do you, Brendan mentioned before how they've sort of made you a focus of last game, just being that you had a bit of height over the other team. How do you kind of handle that responsibility in games?
I cherish that, because you just got to look at, if I see that I can be a focal point and help the team win and be an advantage, that's something I look forward to.
And what can you guys do to sort of prevent getting too comfortable now ahead of the playoffs?
Just looking at the bigger picture, not getting too excited that we're first place. Like it's about getting the championship at the end of the day. Like finishing first is great and all, but that's not what we're after. We're after the championship.
And then obviously we're using a couple of key players in the upcoming weeks. How do you think the team is going to go, having a few off the bench with that cohesion?
I think we'll just be fine. Our chemistry is pretty good as it is right now, so it's another opportunity just to get it better for the finals.
Yeah. And what are your goals over these final 3 weeks of the season before the finals? Are there areas that you think you need to improve on at all, or anything like that?
I think we just need to. There's always ways to get better. I think defensively we can get a little bit better. Just with offensive rebounding as well, we can get more guys in there. Just preventing other teams from getting offensive boards. That's been something we've been working on in the last few weeks. So I think those are some of the areas that we can work on.
And is that somewhere that you're going to have to fix up before finals time and you're versing sort of bigger, more aggressive teams?
Yeah, definitely. That's something we've been, the last few weeks, something we've been really keen on, and just limiting teams to one shot and just not getting second chances. That puts a lot of pressure on your defense. So we're looking just to give teams just one look at it.
And you personally, are you happy with where your form's at right now?
Yeah, I'm happy with how I'm playing right now. You know, it's long as we're winning, I'm not really too worried about how I'm doing personally. As long as the team is doing good, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, you've got a big 12 months ahead of you with the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Are you sort of going to use this tail end of the season to sort of really, I guess, I don't know, get in form or, you know, get ready for the big time come next season?
Yeah, for sure. It's just about getting in the right form. So when I head down there, I'm ready for the preseason and just to fight for minutes. So I have to be in the best shape heading into that.
And as your time in Ballarat and, you know, just this whole experience in the NBL1, do you think it's improved you as a player at all since you've been here?
Yeah, it definitely has improved me as a player. Like just having Choc as a coach, he pushes us every day to get better. He's hard on us, and that's, you don't find that with many coaches that just push you and just be on you every day. Like they're not here to be your friend, they're here to help you get better. So I really appreciate Brendan with that.
Thanks.
All right, great win. What do you think clicked this week?
I think offensively we clicked a little bit better. There were more driving gaps, I felt like, in this game, which is why Trix was able to get to the basket and almost everyone was able to get to the basket. Transition, I feel like we did a really good job this week, transition-wise, so I think that really, really helped us out. When we're able to push the ball, we get great opportunities. So.
And how important, obviously you're already important, so you won't necessarily be playing next year, but how important do you think it is for, next year's team group that you guys keep pushing in these last 4 weeks?
I mean, we want to end on a good note because that leads into the next year being much better than on a losing note. So that was our main focus, is like we would just want to finish the season strong.
And you guys sort of took the lead quite strongly in the third quarter. What changed there?
Transition and just our shot selection was much better. But like I said, transition was huge for us. We pushed, and I felt like we got a lot of easy buckets. If not, like they were still scrambling defensively, and we were able to get something immediately in offense. So I felt like that was our main focus, basically.
The Huskies ended up catching up a little bit in that final term. Was there ever a concern that they might come out in front in the end?
Not really, because I felt like what we were doing was working for the most part. They hit a couple big shots, which we knew was going to happen. It happens all the time. Teams go on runs. We just had to be prepared to kind of fight back and not let their run kind of deflate us.
Mm-hmm. And will there be anything you'll be focusing on, particularly in the upcoming weeks, as you said, wanting to finish that season strong?
Not particularly focused, but obviously defensively we have to be much better in man-to-man situations, and then offensively we have to worry about our shot selection and being patient and waiting for an easy bucket versus trying to force something up.
So you guys are 14th at the moment. Is it safe to say playoffs is out of possibility now, or is there still a mathematical chance? Or
very slim chance, I believe. It might still be a chance, but we just want to focus on the next game ahead of us. Like I said, finish the season strong. Getting 2 wins would be awesome. So.
Yep, fantastic.
Can I ask you, and how important, Shanice got 24 points here on the weekend. How important do you think she's been all season for 10?
Oh, huge. Just having her, presence on the court has made like a big impact, both offensively and especially defensively. She kind of like gets us going. She'll get a couple easy steals, and that kind of gets everyone else kind of to help fight with her. But yeah, she's been huge.